We noticed that Ethan was kind of thirsty around the house. He was drinking a lot of orange juice, and he was just always asking us to pour him drinks. And somewhere in my history, I had heard that that was a symptom of diabetes. Didn't think that much about it. It was just a mom thing. We worry that something's wrong, and most of the time there's nothing wrong. But Kelly and I decided that maybe we just have him checked out, just to make sure. And I picked him up at school that day. He didn't know I was coming, and he had just finished lunch. He was in kindergarten. And he'd had spaghetti. Spaghetti is his very favorite meal. And so we're just going to go to the doctor and check out something. The doctor was not worried. She said, bring him in. We check 5 kids a week for this. We'll bring him in, do a urine test. And it was supposed to be a simple urine test, and we'd be on our way. But it didn't go that way. The doctor said, do you want me to tell him? And I said, no, I'll tell him. And I went into the room, and I told him, and I said, we're going to go on an adventure. And I tried to make it not as scary, although I didn't know what it was, so I was scared too. And I remember we got to the hospital in the parking garage, and we were going from the garage into the building, and he looked at me, and all of 6, and said, Mama, what is it I have again? Diarrhea? He didn't know what diabetes was. He never heard the word. He just trusted us that it was going to be okay. And I remember thinking later that that meal that he had at school, that spaghetti that he loved so much, was the last uncomplicated meal he ever had. It's overwhelming at first. It's overwhelming because you just don't know, and you think, if I get this wrong, he's going to die.
Leanne at one point got a little overwhelmed, which is pretty easy considering. And she told the nurse, she said, I have to stop for a second. Because you have to understand, 4 hours ago, my baby didn't have this disease. The nurse, exhibiting a little bit of tough love at the point, said, well, prior to 1921, we'd be telling you have to get ready to say goodbye. Now give him the shot. And so we did. And it's been like that ever since.
He asked me 3 questions that day. Daddy, am I going to die? Are the shots going to hurt? And then he asked me, Daddy, did God make me this way? And I didn't know what to say exactly. And then I thought for a second, I said, well, for whatever reason, yes, God has allowed this to happen to you. But we have to have faith that it's going to be okay. And that was good for him. He was done. He was on to the next thing.
I remember Ethan, he was a very stoic young man. He actually was very brave. You could tell he was really nervous, but he was a trooper, really a trooper.
Diabetes is 24 hours a day. It doesn't take a vacation. It doesn't take a lunch break. It goes all the time. For the most part, diabetes does not stop Ethan from doing most things. He plays sports. He is very social. He skateboards. He does many things that could potentially injure him that have nothing to do with his diabetes. But it's hard to watch him knowing that he wants to go sleep over with his friends. And he can't do that like other kids can. He wants to go to a birthday party and have cake and run around, and it's just not simple. And it's supposed to be simple when you're a kid. It's just supposed to be simple. He idolizes his brother, and he wants to do things that he does. And when I watch them, I know sometimes it's going to be harder for Ethan to do the things that Chase does.
After he got diagnosed, I was just real protective of him. He always wanted to be like me. But really, he's stronger than all of us.
With enough research in the right amount of time, you know, one day my son will be able to say, I used to have it. But how incredible will it be to say, I don't have it anymore?
He'll never outgrow this. This will be with him the rest of his life until there's a cure. It's always at the end of the sentence, it's always in the back of the mind that that's what we're working toward. And that's our hope.